Morning everyone.
Hello.
I'm not Billy No Mates today. I'm joined by Gary, and his channel is called Gur Fusion.
Gur Fusion, yeah.
So check it out.
Gur, but it's actually Gur. No, it's pronounced Gur, but it's spelt Gur, but that's just because I'm a bit thick. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is part 3 of my North Downs Way adventure, and this is going to be Westhumble or thereabouts to Merstham. Do you pronounce it?
Merstham, yeah.
Merstham. And that section is only 10 miles, so a bit shorter than the other 2 sections I've done, which is good. But we've got some steep climbs.
That one. This first bit is massive.
Box Hill.
Massive.
We've got to climb up Box Hill, but the view's going to be good. Then, of course, along the ridge, down, I think, Pilgrim's Way, and then we're going up to, is it Collie Hill?
I don't know, mate.
We'll say Collie Hill.
Passenger.
Yeah. We're Collie Hill. We're going to go up to there, up to like Reigate Fort. So there's going to be lots of history. We're going to try and look for some of the wild camps sort of around like Reigate Hill sort of area, possibly. Fingers crossed. Keep everything crossed. Yeah, it should be good fun. So it's fairly busy out today.
So far, the weather's alright.
The weather's okay so far, but we reckon though that the rain is going to turn up sort of tonight. So hopefully we can get set up and then, yeah, just get in a tent.
Try and get them up first before it pees down.
Exactly. So Gary's got a Carrymore one-man tent. We don't know what it is yet. We'll soon find out. I've got my Wild Country Helm 1. Was going to take me round Bridge Raider Hoop Bivvy, but then I found out about the rain and was like, nah, let's take a tent, just be on the safe side. We've also got new rucksacks each.
Yeah, look at this.
Look at this.
My back's hurting already. I'm not used to all this. I've got new boots as well.
You got new boots? Look at them.
So
the decathlon boots. It's like,
and a backache within like 10 minutes. I'm already this one.
It's just too hench. It's too much bench pressing, mate.
Too much here, I think.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got a. Is that
a whistle?
Good. You can adjust it, I think.
Yeah, that is full adjustment.
Oh, that's
mate.
full
Look,
adjustment.
That's full adjustment.
That's
boy. Man boobs. That ain't bench pressing. That's pure moobage. There. Look, they're actually coming out. Can't wear that.
Let's have a look at the rucksack. What make is it? Is it a Carrymore? No, it's a Technicals. Technicals rucksack. No idea what that is.
Technicals eBay, £59 jobby. That's what that is. I was like, I need a big bag, so it's 80 plus 10. That'll do. I've got like a four-season sleeping bag, which literally that takes up like half of this bag. So that's why I've got a massive bag. I need to just get a smaller sleeping bag, really. But anyone normal would do that, but I just get a bigger bag, right? and more weight. Yeah.
So I've got a new Osprey Exos 48 litre rucksack. I've always wanted one, and
is that 48 litre?
It's only 48 litres, yeah.
This is 80 litres.
No, I know, and yeah, treated myself to it. So, anyways, yeah, we're gonna get a shift on anyway. It's gone what, like 11 AM now, I think. So, yeah. Anyways, we'll chat to you a little bit further down the trail. I know what you're waiting for anyway. You're waiting for the catchphrase course. So all together now. Enough talking. Get walking. We cross the celebrated stepping stones over the River Mole, then face one of the longest and steepest descents along the North Downs Way, up the scarp of Box Hill, though with the assistance of 273 steps. One would have thought it should then be possible to stay at a high level all the way to the next break in the range, the Colston Gap, but this would involve too much walking along roads. So our route soon plunges down to rejoin the Pilgrim's Way for several miles before reascending to the ridge at Collie Hill. Much of this section is wooded, but we can still enjoy excellent views, especially from the viewing platform on Box Hill and from Collie Hill and Reigate Hill. Evidence of past quarrying may detain the industrial archaeologist at Brockham Lime Works, and whether or not you are interested in history, the recently restored remains of Reigate Fort provide a fascinating insight into 19th century soldiering. A gentle stroll through Gatton Park leads us to the end of the section at Merstham. We've made it to the summit of Box Hill. I've been up here once before with Candice, and yeah, it's always amazing. It's always busy though. There's the Salomon Memorial just over there, we'll show you that in a second. I'd be lying if I said that climb up there was easy. That was bloody hard work, even with the steps. So we're going to stop for a little brew and a snack, contemplate life and why we're doing this, and then we're going to crack on. But I think that's probably the toughest climb of this section. So there's Collie Hill or whatever to climb up, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as that, but I could be wrong. Anyways, show you some more of the view. Amazing. Box Hill is one of the best known beauty spots along the North Downs, thanks in particular to Zigzag Road, which does exactly that up a series of hairpin bends that featured in the 2012 Olympic Games cycle road races, and to the many footpaths and bridleways that reach up from all directions. As well as being Britain's first country park, it is a site of special scientific interest and a special area of conservation because of its wide variety of species. Around 40% of all the naturally occurring box trees in Britain can be found growing on the escarpment here, hence the name. In 1914, the London-based financier Leopold Solomons, 1842 to 1915, acquired the western part of the area to protect it from development, then bequeathed it to the National Trust, whose centre near the viewing platform has a cafe, shop and toilets. A straggling village occupies the eastern part, and it is here that the actual summit lies at 682 feet or 208 metres above sea level. The viewing platform is much lower at 564 feet or 172 metres. Near the viewing platform is a triangulation pillar, commonly known as a trig point. It is one of over 7,000 that were installed around Britain to help create the Ordnance Survey maps by taking accurate measurements using a process called triangulation, which required a direct line of sight between at least 3 trig points. Now that their function has been replaced by the Global Positioning System, or GPS, most trig points are surplus to requirements, but many are maintained by individuals or groups as they still provide a useful aid to navigation in the countryside. Gary, mate, I don't know if you've got enough coffees.
They're all just shoved in here as well. Like every crevice I could get, I shoved a coffee in there. You never have too many coffees, mate.
Coffee addicts, this is great. So yeah, Gary's going to very kindly knock us up a brew on his, what stove is this?
This is a fire maple, mate. I've done a video on this.
Fire maple, is it by Fire Maple?
It is made by Fire Maple is the make. So you spend all this money on jet boils.
And you get one of them.
This cost me 30 quid.
Bargain, bargain, see? It's like my OEX Tucana gas stove, it was like 30 quid.
It's very much similar to that, to be honest with you. It's a very similar design, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, it's pretty much spot on, yeah. See? Jet boils, waste of time.
And money.
Exactly.
Fancy a drink?
Refreshed. Almost hidden in trees on the left is the gravestone of presumably an animal called Quick, an English thoroughbred, 26th of the 9th, 1936, the 22nd of the 10th, 1944. Brockham Limeworks flourished in this area with a clanking network of narrow gauge railways to carry chalk from the quarries to the lime kilns and down to Betchworth. The works closed in 1936 and the area has since been reclaimed by nature. Now managed by the Surrey Wildlife Trust, it is a site of special scientific interest, due in particular to the 8 species of bat that occupy the old kilns, which you pass along the North Downs Way. And once again we found evidence of the very English and polite act of lost stuff on footpaths is placed on tree branches.
Hanging them up.
This time it's...
Because you wouldn't see it down there.
Because you wouldn't see it down on the floor.
But I expect maybe it's to keep it dry.
Keep it dry.
Should I take it off, or is that like really bad?
As long as you put it back. As long as you put it back.
They put it on spikes, that was quite inconsiderate.
Yeah.
This looks like a high quality glove.
Mountain warehouse.
It's starting to show the signs of the outdoors.
Exposure, it's going to die from exposure. We should bring it in.
Well, let's put it here and let's hope that whoever lost that is reunited with it soon. Oh my god, it's got a pocket.
All we know is that...
How savage that you can go with a little pocket.
Are you sure it's not a hole in it?
No, it's got a
zip. Oh, it's a pocket. That is so cool. Do you know what that's...
Get your drugs.
No, do you know what it's for? Well, that as well, Gary.
That's sniding it across the border.
Do you know what it actually is? That's for putting hand warmers in there.
Ah.
So, you learn something new every day, didn't you, mate?
It's been with you.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. Sorry, mate.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, so all we know is the person that's lost this is definitely right-handed. They have a right hand. Or maybe they don't, and that's why they discarded it. Yeah. Oh, I've just had my arm cut off, so I don't need it anymore. Anyway, we're getting in the runner's way. We'll get told off. Move, move, move. I think we found a geocache. Yeah, look.
Yay!
Hey. It's like little things buried.
You got to put something back in there now.
I'm not going to put anything in it, but I'm like...
What's in the box? What's in the box?
There's a load of water.
Oh. That's everybody's like naming that.
Yeah.
I discovered this in 1957. We didn't, but...
That's all soaked. Yeah, no, that's a geocache, alright.
It's a pretty scaggy...
Yeah, geocache, yeah, it's knackered. Well, I don't think someone sealed the bloody bag up on it, so that's not helped, so...
I bet it was that man with one glove. He couldn't do it properly because he had one glove on.
Oh, yeah, geocache. Oh, there we go. Lovely jubbly. On our left is a coal tax post, one of nearly 300 installed around London in the 1860s to mark the point where tax had to be paid on coal taken to the City of London, whose crest appears on the post.
Right, it's gone 4:30 now, the sun has set and we're going to be losing daylight in about 20 minutes I would say, so we're really getting a shift on now. We've absolutely smashed it. I think we've arrived at something promising, which we're sort of contemplating our possible wild campsite at. This Jess! It's Collie Hill. Cattle, yeah, cattle grazing, owned by the National Trust. Shit, but we're where we want to be. Cheers.
As long as we don't get eaten by cows at night.
Hopefully they're vegetarian.
Start chewing our fucking guide ropes on our tent.
It's sort of between now and like Reigate Fort are kind of going to be the place where we're going to look to hopefully camp and get away with a cheeky wild camp. Might have to be a little bit of a stealth one, who knows.
Is that another glove?
Oh, there's another glove! We found another glove. Oh, it's a hat.
Don't worry, it's been put up.
So, this person may or may not have a head. There we go, it's a bit dirty that one, but they've preserved it for future.
It's a bit wet as well.
It's very wet, yeah. Sniff it, go on.
Oh. It's got a little fly noise.
Flying brilliant. The wind has picked up a little bit, it's got a little bit chillier. But look at this view. It literally is one of the best views I've ever seen. It's amazing, we're so high up here at the moment. I know people do mountains and stuff and to them this is nothing, this is practice, but to me, that's amazing. That was worth that really tough climbs, should I say. There's been loads of them. This rucksack has been impeccable. I cannot praise this rucksack enough. I've always known Osprey do good rucksacks and I've heard good stuff about the Exos, but this is the bollocks. To be honest, I've not complained about the weight on my back at all the whole trip, and I've got a tent as well. I mean, I felt tired, but not because of the rucksack, just because of how steep it is. This rucksack has ridden so well. So if you're prepared to spend the money or look for a bargain one of these, and you're looking for a new rucksack, seriously, and you're doing lots of wild camping and lots of long distance walking, seriously consider an Osprey Exos 48. They do it in 38, 58 I think, but I just went for the 48, it seemed a decent size. It's just brilliant. It's going to be my go-to long distance walking rucksack, I think, from now on. Still going to use the blue Osprey Talon 44, but it depends on what setup I've got really. I can't fit my knockoff Z-Lite foam pad in this Exos, but I can fit it in the Talon 44, so you know, like I say, depends on the kit I use will dictate what rucksack I use, but I'm gonna try and use this one as much as possible. This is brilliant. And I only got it for about 83 quid. The guy had used it like once on eBay, so it had some very slight markings, but not a lot, to be honest with you. You could clean it. It's brand spanking new basically, and they cost, I think, over 100 quid brand new. Like the most I've seen them is like, I think 115, 120. So I've saved a fair bit, and it was bought with birthday money from people. So thank you. You know who you are.
Collie Hill is managed by the National Trust and reaches 738 feet or 225 metres above sea level. The English Folly, donated in 1909 to the borough of Reigate by Lieutenant Colonel Sir Robert William Inglis, VC, was originally a drinking fountain, but now houses a topograph with the night sky depicted on the ceiling.
Welcome back everyone. We have found a little spot, a nice flat level clearing in the woods just off of the North Downs way. So yeah, nice and level, a little bit damp because there's been some rain and that, but we'll clear the leaves back. Gary's going to get his mystery Carrymore tent set up, which we don't know what it is yet, and I'm going to set up my Wild Country Helm one. We've got them both here. We've done really well today. Very, very tough walk, very steep. I think we're both pretty shattered, but it was good fun, and we've been rewarded with excellent views, and it's just been amazing. It's been really good fun.
I'm shattered, I know that much.
Definitely, we've both earned our ciders tonight. We'll show you those later. So on the menu tonight we've got this Hindu Patrol Combat Ration Pack. So it's a 12-hour pack, menu 3. It's got chicken with pasta and like apple turnover bun thing, powdered apple protein drink, an orange flavour isotonic drink powder, fruit and nut mix, some blackcurrant flavour boiled sweets, a chocolate bar, cookies and cream flavoured cereal bar, pepper, iodized salt and some dental gum. No hot drinks. So you literally get 2 sweets, which is a bit tight. Then you get your main meal, chicken with pasta. It's got mushrooms in it. Not overly happy about that, but you know, it's what we've got, so that's what I'm eating. Apple bun thing, flameless ration heater. Then we've got the apple protein powder, salt and pepper, chocolate bar. It's like the feedback form. Don't fill that in if you're not in the army, because they'll know that you've illegally bought these, I'm guessing. Location of mission, North Downs Way. Yeah, that's the menu sheet for other menus. The dental gum. I'll tell a lie, you do get 3 of those sweets, that's not bad. Then that's our fruit and nut mix, trail mix. That's our orange flavoured drink powder. There's the cereal bar. You get some wet wipes. Oh no, that's a spare wet wipe. And I've got my hot drinks that I'm adding to it. Gary's been plying me with caramel coffees. Amazing. That's the accessory pack. I'll just open that up for you. And inside this delightful little bag you get 2 wet wipes, you get 10 sheets of toilet paper, shit tickets, you get a really strong big plastic bag for, you know, rubbish or collecting water in. You know, if you needed to, you could easily fill that up with plenty of water that you'd need, and then you could put your 4 water purification tablets in it. And then last but not least, I'm not going to open them up, but you've got a plastic cutlery set, knife, fork and spoon. Excellent. So that's breakfast in there, by the way. I'll show you that tomorrow in the morning. I've got more shit tickets over there. I'm expecting bad things because it's that chicken and pasta. Yeah, anyway, so enough yakking, let's get snacking. The first drink of the night. I don't know if this lighting's going to work. There we go. That's, I'll turn it down a bit. Technical difficulties. There we go. That's much better. Right. So this is another IPA, and it's called Pathmaker. And who does that remind you of on there? It's a cross between me and my mate Mark from First Class Adventures, and he's the one that gave me this IPA on my birthday, and I didn't get around to drinking it. So cheers, mate. Thank you for the offer. Just had a sip of it, and Gary's had a sip of it, I'm afraid to say it's not the nicest drink in the world. In our opinion though, if you like IPAs you will probably love this, okay, but it's just not doing it for us. But I'll still tell you all about it, of course, it's only fair. So yeah, really I do like the design of it, and you know that picture's pretty cool. So it's by Black Sheep. There you go, you can just about see that. I've had some of their stuff before, can't remember what one I had. So yeah, so it says it's a beer, it's 5.6%. Chinook, Simcoe and Citra hops provide the root for this juicy IPA, which leaves nothing behind, packing every ounce of flavour into each sip. Adventurous aromas of tropical fruits with a hit of grapefruit, mango and pineapple. You can kind of see why I thought it'd sound interesting. We didn't get any of that. Leading the way before a spiky bitterness strikes on the palate. A nod to our founder and Black Sheep, Paul Theakston. So maybe that's what Paul Theakston looks like, I don't know, but yeah. So they're based in, is it Merstham, North Yorkshire, Black Sheep Brewery. So if you're into IPAs and beers, you might like this. Personally, like, we don't, I'm afraid. But cheers anyway, Mark. It's always the thought that counts, mate. And it's good to try these things out. I now know I'm not a fan of this, but I still have a little bit more. Yeah, it's very, very bitter. There's no real taste. I mean, I might be getting a bit of grapefruit coming through, but mango and pineapple, forget it. I'm not getting tropical fruits, nothing. It's just bitterness and like faint grapefruit. For this Pathmaker IPA by Black Sheep, I'm going to give that, I'm sorry Mark, 3 out of 10. It's being generous. But still, I like the can. It gets 3 points for the can and the design at least. So yeah, anyway, cheers. So what we're going to have instead, we're going to skip straight to our first cider of the night, because I've got 2 ciders with me. Probably shouldn't have bought that many on a long distance walk, but hey ho. Some more Ausker ciders for you. We've got a blood orange, cranberry and cinnamon 4% cider. For all you vegans out there, it's friendly. And then, as is, the next Ausker cider. Let's see if the light will... Ah, there we go, that's much better, isn't it? So this one is rhubarb and pink grapefruit. Once again, vegan friendly. Once again, 4%. Saving that one till last. I've probably reviewed these at some point before, so let's crack it open. Cheers everyone. Cheers Gary, wherever he is. He's probably gone for a piss. Oh, you're over it all, Christ. It's this voice from the darkness appeared, yeah. So yeah, here we go. So cheers everyone to a good cam.
Yeah, cheers.
Charles. Oh, here he is. Here he is. I've got him a cider as well. It's like a Sainsbury's vintage cider or something. He likes it, yeah. So I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Oh, that smells nice. That smells so much better than that IPA. Right, here we go. Cheers. Oh, that's naughty. That is. That's proper naughty. Wow. Really got like the blood orange taste in there. A little bit of cranberry. Not so much cinnamon, definitely blood orange. That is nice. I could probably drink pints of that, and not get sick of it. That's really nice, really good. So I'll be sharing that one with Gary. One more sip. I think because the IPA tasted so horrible, it makes this taste amazing. I'm going to give that, even though I think I've reviewed it before, but sod it, let's do another review. 8.8 out of 10. It's good. It's really good. I'm liking that. Cheers. We're going to hear all kinds of stuff, and of course the intense humming of evil that is the M25. Yeah, the M25 is literally just over there, and it's just, we're going to hear that all night long. So, all night long. Yeah, anyway.
All night long.
Don't sing for any longer because I'll get done for copyright. Anyway, 20 seconds or something. Anyway, so yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. So cheers everyone. Thank you for watching this far and not getting bored of us. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
So it's gone 10 o'clock. Here he is. We're on the final cider of the night, which I'm sharing with Gary as he's only got the one cider.
Cheers.
So this is there we go. It's that rhubarb and pink grapefruit Alska cider, 4%. And yeah, we're in agreement. It's very nice. It's decent. It's the best one out of the two. I'm going to give that a 9.3.
9.3.
Strong.
Wow.
Strong. Yeah, very clear, and like, yeah, the rhubarb is very prevalent. The pink grapefruit isn't so strong, but it's definitely something else in it, of course. But yeah, I'm trying to sound sophisticated and come up with something clever to say, but
Prevalent.
Prevalent, that's a big word for me. I'm going to have to lay down in the tent after that, because that's tired me out. Big words, whoa. Anyway, yeah, very nice cider, and cheers mate to a good camp.
Cheers mate.
It's been a
Thank
good
you
day.
for inviting me. I've had a fucking whale of a time.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a real laugh. We've laughed a lot. It was very romantic. And
You're so romantic.
yeah, Mark, don't get jealous, mate. Okay.
Get jealous, Mark.
Yeah.
Get jealous.
Yeah.
You touched me.
I'll take you back out again, sweet cheeks. Don't worry. Okay. But you know, Gary's a bit younger than you, yeah, and he's got stronger legs, so it's a bit healthier. You know.
Touched me here.
He's a firefighter.
Here.
Mark. What?
And then here.
Oh god, this is not a serious video, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's been fun. Right, moving on. Well, it's gone 11:30 now, so it's coming up to midnight, and within sort of the next hour or so we are apparently due some rain. It's very calm at the moment. We're both in our respective shelters. We found out what Gary's tent is. It's a Carrymore Bobcat one. It's a cracking little tent actually. It's a lot like a Van Gogh Nevis or Van Gogh Cairngorm. So that sort of central hoop pole, little poles at the end. Really nice looking little tent actually. I think he said he paid like 25 quid for it on eBay. It's a nice little tent. And I think we're going to aim to get up probably for around 7 AM, a little bit later than normal. Usually I've been getting up at like 6:30 on these North Downs Way routes, but I'm going to go with 7 I think, because we've not got that far to go. Morning all, it's about 7 AM and we've just awoken. It's been raining since, I'd say probably about 1 AM I think. I remember hearing the rain start up and it just didn't stop. It's now sort of kind of light rain. It was really peaceful and relaxing. Slept really well. It's very warm, comfy. This climate, insulated static V pads, really good. It's really come into its own now. All my pillows, I had them just right, and yeah, sort of no neck aches, nothing like that. It's perfect. And the sleeping bag was good as well. 3.5 miles probably to go to get to Merstham, and we've parked Gary's car literally right next to the footpath, so we can just follow the North Downs Way
until we get back to his car, and then it's a case of just jumping in his car, driving back to the Stepping Stones car park at Westhumble, picking up mine, and off we go. So it's all good. Anyways, I'll come back to you in a little bit. In a good camp. First bit of history of the morning on the North Downs Way, and we come across this partially submerged bunker, but this is actually from the Napoleonic era. Apparently it's sort of part of Reigate Fort, which is further up the trail. Some idiots ripped the door off. Good thing for us because we're going to have a look inside, but bad in general. There's a questionable wet wipe there. Look, you can see the original wood window frames. There's a second entrance as well, which they've not managed to rip the door off of. Looks like it kind of has got like almost like a blast door, or like a blast wall for the entrance. So this probably would have been mostly submerged. Ventilation, air ducts, I'm guessing. You can see there as well. And yeah, and then that would have been covered by earth on top, and there's some ventilation shafts there as well. So yeah, it would have been completely submerged, and it just would have looked like grass, like a grassy mound. I couldn't resist, I had to go in. So the usual things, spurs, what do you call it, pentagrams and satanic stuff. Dark Throne, I swear that's a black metal band. Merstham, yeah, they're all black metal bands, like Norwegian black metal. How I know all this stuff, don't ask me. Satan, yeah, the usual things, and loads of kids' shoes as well. which is quite disturbing. So we've got 2 rooms, and then there's the 3rd room. Oh, and then this smaller room, which, see what was Gary saying? Ah, look, there's original like shelves, like slate shelves. Oh dear, that's amazing. There, so there's like a waste out pipe, so that could have been a toilet, possibly. So that's definitely a storage cupboard. That's not a toilet. That, to me, yeah, because there's no pipe going out. So that could have even been like a, I don't know, could it be a food larder or storage cupboard of some sort? That's definitely a toilet block, I reckon. It's got a drain and a pipe going away to it. Yes, that would have been another entrance, and you've got the other entrance here as well. Pretty cool. Pipe going out up the top there. I like the fact there's still these original bits of wood as well. And you can kind of see the floor where it's clear, what it would have looked like. Nice. Lovely bit of history. This clearing in the trees was created at 5:42 p.m. on the 19th of March 1945, when a B-17G aircraft, a flying fortress, crashed into the side of Reigate Hill, killing all 9 crew members on board. These memorial wingtips, carved from oak, are placed exactly the distance apart that the real B-17G wingtips flew. The crew were from the 384th Bombardment Group of the United States Army Air Corps. They were flying back to their base at Grafton Underwood in Northamptonshire after an operation near the German-Czech border. They were flying their 13th mission together. Robert Stanley Griffin was the pilot. At just 3 months short of 25, he was the oldest member of the crew, which goes to show you how young these men were when they died. Reigate Fort, at 754 feet or 230 metres above sea level near the summit of Reigate Hill, was one of 13 military depots built along the North Downs towards the end of the 19th century as a supply line for defences against a feared invasion by the French, which never came. After a period of occupation by the Scouts, Reigate Fort was refurbished by the National Trust and opened to the public in 2007. Reigate Fort is a chilling reminder of a time of mistrust and competition between Britain and France that dominated much of the late 1800s. Fear of French invasion was thought to be imminent. The fort was built in 1898 as part of a wider defensive scheme to protect London and consequently the whole of the British Empire from invasion. At the time, London was the heart of the world's largest empire and the powerhouse of political and economic decision making. The notion that it could be overrun was a clear and present danger to politicians and military strategists of the time. By the late 1880s, the French naval fleet was expanding and the new all-steam powered ships created a heightened sense of fear within the British government. Now was the time to act. In 1889, the North Downs' potential to act as a strategic stronghold to protect London was realised. Land to house 13 new mobilisation centres, fortified positions comprising ramparts, ditches and store buildings was purchased and the centres built. The London Defence Scheme, as it became known, was to act as a support network of troops and troop movement, mostly manned by volunteers. The tool store was built as a permanent structure to provide storage for mobilised troops and labourers. Stores of ammunition, trench digging and construction tools would have been stored here. Should an invasion occur, troops would have collected what tools they needed, hopefully bolstered by tools belonging to volunteers, and dug pre-planned trenches between the mobilisation centres. Saws and axes would have been used to clear trees and bushes in front of the trenches to allow clear shots at an advancing enemy. This building would have been a hive of activity should an invasion appear imminent, and the hub of the mobilisation centre. The London trench defences, which would have been coordinated from the mobilisation centres, could be created in 4 days by 25,500 labourers, with the trenches being marked out by the Royal Engineers. As trench warfare was a relatively new initiative, the troops would have been relatively free to move along them with little fear of being seen by the enemy. The tool store was constructed between 1903 and 1904. It was unique amongst mobilisation centres for being built on the surface of the ground and freestanding. When fully stocked, it would have contained axes and saws to clear trees, picks and shovels for digging trenches, wheelbarrows for transporting soil, rulers and tape measures for marking out works, barbed and plain wire. The magazine was where the stores of ammunition were kept. It was one of the most protected and important buildings on the complex. Work here was highly skilled and dangerous. The Royal Artillery would rely on what was stored here to supplement their own reserves should an invasion occur. Working methodically and with extreme caution, ammunition experts would have worked from 2 main rooms, the cartridge store and the shell store, both connected by a passage. Ventilation was vital to keep humidity and temperature levels controlled and to keep the ammunition in good condition. Ammunition was kept in wooden boxes to allow it to breathe. The fort keepers lived in the 2 cottages just outside the fort. Safety was key in the magazine, and light from candles was sparse as they were never taken into the main chambers. The corridors had lamp recesses that were glazed on the inside to prevent sparks. Ammunition experts would work in these gloomy conditions with the constant fear of being blown up should they make a mistake. An added safety feature was that of the shifting lobby, where men were required to change from their everyday clothes into spark-free cotton pyjamas and slippers. They were only allowed to enter the chambers to carry on with their dangerous work once it was confirmed they were wearing no metal items. The following numbers of troops and weapons would be deployed along the London defence line should an invasion occur. 112 artillery soldiers with 16-pounder rifle muzzle loaders, 28 artillery soldiers with 20-pounder rifle breech loaders, 112 artillery soldiers with 40-pounder rifle breech loaders. All 252 artillery soldiers and their guns would be carried along the line on field carriages. In 1898, construction plans for the fort indicate that the casemates were built as the mobilisation centre's original tool store. It seems, however, that by 1903 they were outgrown and a new separate tool store was constructed. There are 2 casemates at Reigate, positioned with their backs to the high defensive ramparts of the fort complex. Inside we see an arched brick ceiling strong enough to hold the weight of the soil above. This offered protection to the buildings from any blasts. An interesting feature of these buildings are the grilles over the windows. We're unsure why this building has such an ornate decorative feature. No sooner were the operating manuals completed, the purpose of the mobilisation centres came into question. Whilst the forts may have proved a significant obstacle to an invading army, by far the better option was to not allow them to land in the first place. To a certain extent, Britain was caught napping when it came to naval investment. However, by the early 1900s, that was about to change. Britain launched a powerful new home fleet, headed up with the biggest, fastest and best gunned battleship the world had ever seen, HMS Dreadnought, so called because it would fear naught but God. A renewed confidence in Britain's ability to rule the waves followed, leading politicians to proclaim that the old forts could be grubbed out root and branch. This enjoyment of naval supremacy was short-lived, and within a few years Germany took the place of France as a growing threat. In 1907, Reigate Fort was finally sold off, its stores having been emptied.
So we've arrived at a little cafe here called Junction 8, it's just behind me, and we're at, I think it's Reigate viewpoint. Let's go down here. Whee! It's getting quite late though, so we can't hang around too long. Because there's the cafe, Junction 8 it's called. We were looking at Reigate Fort a bit too long, probably hung around and camped for a while, but yeah, there's the view behind us, and here's the topograph. But we are thinking of seriously getting some sausage or bacon sarnies from that cafe. Look amazing.
Suits you, sir.
Yeah. Suits you, sir. Someone doing the North Downs way has obviously given up. They've thrown in the towel. Boom, boom.
Gatton Park was the home of the Colebrook family of London bankers. In 1762, they commissioned the great landscape gardener, Lancelot Capability Brown, to redesign the grounds in his trademark naturalistic style. In 1888, the 600-acre park was bought by Sir Jeremiah Coleman of mustard fame, and in 1948 it was sold to the Royal Alexandra and Albert School, which can trace its origins back to 1758 and still occupies the eastern part. In 1952, the National Trust acquired the western part, which has open access, and in 1996 the Gatton Trust was formed to manage the rest of the park, initially to restore the gardens and later to provide educational facilities for local schools and the wider community. The Millennium Standing Stones have found a permanent home in Gatton Park after several years as a travelling exhibition. Clearly a modern representation of Stone Age megaliths, they were created for the Jerusalem Trust by the sculptor Richard Kindersley to commemorate the millennium by demonstrating the spiritual power of words and artistic lettering. Each of the 10 stones represents a 200-year period. Merstham Church is dedicated to St. Catherine of Alexandria, a 4th century martyr. The present church has parts that date back to the 13th century, but a Saxon one is believed to have pre-existed on the site. Most of it is built of flint, but one of the walls incorporates a stone that has made the journey from Merstham sandstone quarries to one of the older incarnations of London Bridge and back again when that was demolished.
So we've arrived back at Gary's car here on the outskirts of Merstham. Apparently there's a load of tunnels and caves over that way, but I'm not going to be doing any of that. But it's always food for thought. The North Downs Way carries on along this road, and that's where we're going to be starting part 4 next time. So I don't know when that's exactly going to happen, but probably 3 weeks from now, maybe, something like that. So it's been a really good weekend, a good trip. It's been a pleasure meeting Gary. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, mate, for inviting me. I've loved it, man.
We're planning to do a couple more bits and pieces together as well, so keep your eyes peeled.
Definitely.
And definitely check out Gary's channel. So it's called Girth Fusion Outdoor Adventure Seeker.
Remember that.
And I'm going to put a link below this video to his video or his channel. Either way, you'll be getting a link either way, so please do subscribe. It's got a few different things on there, not just wild camping. There's 4x4 stuff, bits of exploring in there.
Yeah.
Chickens.
Loads of chickens, kayaking, loads of camping.
It's great fun, this, the North Downs Way. I'm absolutely loving it at the moment, and I just can't wait to do the next section. That's only going to be 8 miles, although this was only 10 miles. It was bloody hard work.
It was hilly.
So it was very hilly, yeah. So yeah, good walk, good camp. It's been fun. So cheers everyone for watching.
So on sports fans.
See you later, sports fans. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, stay safe, be nice to each other, and get out there, explore. See you later.
Bye. Quality.